What is happening, YouTube? Little impromptu deal. Didn't have anything planned. Wasn't doing much tonight. Thought I would get on this X-Men control deck, and thought I would do this online so that you guys can see me screw it up. Like I said, this wasn't planned. We'll see if anybody joins or not. Feel free to drop a line in the comments if you're here. Glad to have you. So like I said, we're doing the we're gonna swap out the control deck on the X-Men. If you guys caught my last live stream, it's been a couple of weeks. The board showed up and it looked like Swiss cheese. It had all kinds of holes in it. Was absolutely my fault. Talking to Adrian at Graphics Arcade. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't clearly tell him what I was looking for. Anyways, he made me a replacement deck, gave me a great price on the replacement because it was my fault, so I don't mind that. And he got it out to me right away. I've had it for a few days now. I've had him change a few things on it. We got rid of a lot of the art, and there's a reason why, and you're going to see that tonight in this mod. If it works out, hopefully it does. You know, that's the thing about this. Everything is up for a gamble, you know. I mean, maintenance is one thing. Switching buttons, joysticks, that's maintenance. When you're modding and actually changing the hardware or the software, the way the machine actually works, that is modding. I have a strong belief in that there's a difference. Changing your buttons out, guys. I'm sorry, that's maintenance. Anyways, so I've got something special planned for this. Like I said, this was Adrian over at Graphics Arcade. And we're going to get right into it. Hopefully the sound is coming through. If you're here, let me know. If not, you know, we're in trouble and I'm just talking to myself all night. So, real simple to do this mod. We're going to rip these screws out real quick here and remove the old control deck. One thing that I recommend, and I did do before I even started any part of this project, I got a second control deck. I found one. Actually, I got mine from Arcade 1-Up, but you can go on eBay. It's nice to have it so that you can go backwards if you decide that someday you want that 4-player deck, or if you break something, you know, now you've got a few spare parts. So, yeah, 4 screws and she comes right out. We'll set those over there. I'm going to set this out of my way. While not needed with the Graphics Arcade deck, I did have him include a piece of plexiglass. I like the deck protectors. I don't know. I just like them. And then he also includes a replacement J panel, which will be needed later. These don't have the drop-down decks like the Arcade 1-Ups do. So this will sit flat against my cabinet, and then that replacement J panel will close that gap that is created by it. Our ribbon cable popped right out, which is nice. And then we're going to remove I think that's called an S cable. And we have a little cable here for our power. Okay. It's just that simple. We're going to set it on the cabinet itself. We've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, about, a lot of screws to remove. We're going to take these all out. Unfortunately, I think we're going to do them all with a screwdriver. We need to get into the guts here. This takes a minute, but nothing hard at all. I anticipate this entire mod will be 30 minutes or less. But, you know, you just never know. Now, one thing about this cabinet, when you do this on the Captain America and Avengers game, you will lose the ability to choose 2 of the 4 players. And oh my goodness, I forgot which 2 I wanted to keep. And I think it was 2 and 3. Now you can splice splice wires together in the buttons and joysticks to allow you to make that option, or maybe have no, actually I don't think 4-player buttons would get you there. Because I believe in that game you hit your coin in button, which is your player number, and then you have to hit I don't know if it matters, but you have to hit a button on the control deck for that player to activate it. I really wish I had a little bit longer bit for my driver there, but this isn't too bad. It doesn't take too long. We're down to 4 screws out of 8, 9, 13, it looks like. Oh, this one's giving me a little trouble. And get on that screw head. It's so hard. You just kind of got to do it by feel. So, in my last live stream, I think I'd mentioned to you guys I needed to return the PC that I had bought. And it may be a while before I get to do another live stream because I had to wait on the return to process. Well, being late, as usual, I missed the damn return window. And so I didn't bother sending it back. And we're going to use this PC, and hopefully it doesn't give us too much grief. Oh, we're getting close. 2 more. Now, I'll tell you, if you do this mod, guys, especially if you do, like I said, get a second deck first, you would be surprised what somebody will buy. If you haven't got an eBay account set up, set one up. This plastic shell has value to it. The deck protector has value. The deck has value. Even without the encoder and the 2 missing controls that we're going to take out of it, it's still worth something to somebody. I do a lot of the eBay thing. I usually do it a little more towards like wintertime, once I've completed all my projects and I know where I'm at and I know what I've got planned for the winter. I do my projects mostly during the summertime, I guess, and during the wintertime, I do my enjoying. Oh, that's good. Sipping on a little Crown Royal and Crown Royal Blackberry tonight, and Zero Sugar 7-Up. That Crown Royal Blackberry is so good. Great with some lemonade or maybe an orange juice. I'm, like I said, having it with some 7-Up. Maybe a splash of sour mix in there would be good. But it's hard to find. I came across it today, and most places, when they do have it, they have a limit of one bottle. Like it's literally that hard to come across. But I came across it today at the local grocery store / liquor store, and it was a new clerk. Didn't know that she should limit that, and so I kind of maybe took a little bit of advantage of the situation. I picked up a case of it. Good stuff. I don't have to worry about it. I'm covered for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, however long the 12 bottles will last. 2 weeks, whatever it is. But yeah, love this stuff. Mix it with a little bit of peanut butter whiskey. It's good as a shot. It's kind of like a peanut butter and jelly. Okay, so one thing that I don't know if I'm going to do it with this, but I'm going to show you guys. When you're doing your mods, normally I've got a table nearby, and I'm working in close quarters tonight. But if you take your control deck cover after you've removed it, you can use it as a stand or a place to sit your deck, because you've got those joysticks down there, and it's just not going to sit well. Now, see, my computer's doing stupid stuff. It's not going to sit well, but with those joysticks on there, so yeah, you drop it down into that deck and it holds it just fine. So, like I said, I think what we're looking to do is players 1 and 3. And I forgot to grab my wire clips. So I will be right back. I'm going to use them to snip the zip ties on this thing. And while I'm away, I'm going to also grab zip ties so that when I'm done, I can make the new deck nice and tidy. Okay, so now this isn't even a zip tie. This is like a twist tie. Oh boy, one up really went out on this one, didn't they? Why is this interesting here? You ever get that loaf of bread home and no matter which direction you turn the twist tie, it doesn't loosen it? Yeah, it's one of those things. Okay. So, like I said, we're looking for 1 and 3, so we can eliminate some of this pretty much right away. Now, I've got my hair dryer here. Well, now this stupid thing is acting up again. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Welcome, PC. Crown Royal Blackberry. Blackberry flavored Crown Royal is what I'm talking about there. So anyways, yeah, I've got the hair dryer here. A lot of the time you'll find Arcade 1-Up, they use a lot of glue on these encoders. This one actually does not look bad, but if you take that hair dryer and just hold it over there for a little bit, it'll loosen that glue up and you can pull those out real easily. I'm going to start tonight with, I guess, with the joystick. So I'm going to isolate my wires. I've got 4 wires and 2 grounds coming out of this joystick. So I'm going to follow that into my encoder here. Okay. And another thing that I would, and damn it, I don't have my phone with me. I would suggest take a picture of this before so that you've got something to reference to afterwards. We are not going to do that. We are just going to go right in. Let's see if we can screw something up here. Okay, so there is one set of wires to the joystick. Kind of odd that there's two sets of wires. I feel like there's always only normally one set of wires going to the joystick. Okay. And like I said, we're only going to do 1 and 3, so we're going to pull some of these others out of the way here so we can see what we're doing. I am looking at what I'm pulling because I don't want to jump too far ahead of myself here. Okay, so buttons are pretty easy to figure out. Get all this out of the way here. Maybe. It's twisting up here somewhere. Ah. Okay. Purple goes to the blue. I'm going to put that back because I didn't want to disconnect that just yet. I'm going to get the stuff out of the way that I don't plan to use. And then I'm going to run and grab my phone so that I can get my picture. Because I feel like this might be one of those situations where I need it. Yeah, there's like hardly any glue on this encoder, which is like super rare. Normally they are just caked with glue. You got to use a hair dryer on it and get out the needle nose and the hemostats and, well, you know, you might have those out already. Okay. And then one more there. Okay. Now, that one is done. That one is done. So the only thing I have disconnected so far is the joystick. And that's going to go there. And that one was going to go there. Okay. So I'm going to be like 2 seconds if you're watching. I'm going to go grab my phone so that I can take my picture of this. And when I get back, I'll get you a close-up shot of this encoder so that you can see what all I have removed and what is remaining. It should be the 8 buttons, the 2 joysticks, the live button, the 2 player choice buttons or coin buttons, and the audio, as well as the power. Okay, so we're just going to take a couple of quick shots here. The idea is to be able to tell what color wires go where, as well as the color of their clip if they have one. A lot of the time they're just white. These actually have colors on them, which is kind of nice. Okay. And hopefully I don't need to refer to that. So, give you a look here. I have removed all the player 1 options, okay, and player 4 options. So all that remains here is 1 and 3. Or I'm sorry, 2 and 3. As well as, like I was saying, this is your headphone jack. This is your live button here. And then somewhere in this mess is going to be your power buttons. They're going to come up from below. Up right here. This red one is power. And the white one in front of it is the audio, video, or audio volume. So, I need to create a little workspace here. I'm going to get my new deck. Okay, and I can see I'm probably going to need to go grab my knife and do some trimming. If you look close, you'll see we just cut the vinyl for the volume. Didn't really open it up. Same with the buttons. So I will be right back. I'm going to grab something to cut that with. I use a scalpel for small things like this. Make sure you got a sharp blade. This one's been used a couple of times, maybe, or at least once. I can see a little vinyl left on it. But it looks pretty sharp. I'm sure it'll cut me, so hopefully it'll cut that. I haven't made any irreversible mistakes yet, so hey, we're on a roll. Other than I just set that scalpel down and don't know where I put it. 2 seconds. I had it in my hand for 2 seconds. There it is. It fell to the ground. So, yeah, I'm just going to do a little trimming on here. hopefully his cuts and his drills are accurate. I've used his boards before and never had an issue. So I'm not too worried about that. And I'll have to come back through later with the vacuum and clean that up. That's a little better. Now I feel like the buttonholes probably won't matter much. If anything, it might make that button have a little more nice snug fit. So I won't worry about that. And we are going to start with, well, I suppose we'll start with our buttons here. We'll start with our player 2, which is going to become player 1. They just pop out. They got a couple springs on the side of these Arcade 1-Up buttons. You press both sides in, they'll pop right through. When you're installing them, if you look closely, there's a little bit of a groove here, okay? You want to line up the button. It's got a groove on the side of it. You'll line that button up with that groove, and it'll usually pop right into the board just like that. Okay? And then we'll go over to player 3 and do that one as well. You know, a lot of people don't care for the buttons that Arcade 1-Up uses. The Gen 1 buttons actually were better, and they got worse over time. But I use them until they don't work. When they quit working, then I'll replace them. Otherwise, they work just fine for me. Again, there's people that want that original stock button, and we'll pay for it. So if you haven't set up your eBay account, guys, I'm telling you, set that up. Okay, so I suppose the next one we could do would be we'll do the live button, okay, which I have not disconnected yet. And it should be this, yep, it's this black button right here. Okay, so we'll just press that one through. That one's a little harder to reach, but there it is. If you haven't done a deck swap before, believe me, this is about the easiest one you could do. This Blitz was pretty easy. Simpsons is definitely more of a challenge, guys. You have to splice wires on the Simpsons deck in order to do that one and do it correctly. Okay. Well, damn it. I grabbed the wrong. Well, that's okay. I used player 1 and player 4 coin buttons, which is fine. I will just use their joysticks to match them. Or you don't, and you go the other direction. It's up to you completely. I'm just taking a quick peek here at how I want to do this. So, yellow is jump. And then you drop down to purple. Red is mutant power. Red is mutant power. Blue is always attack. Okay. We're going to do this one side at a time, guys. And we're going to go ahead and get the encoder board swapped over first. So in order to do that, we got to get everything off. It's all got to go. You just take your time, pull gently, one at a time. If they're covered in glue, get the hair dryer out. Okay. It just takes a minute. Okay. Once you've gotten everything out of the way there, the encoder board typically has 3 screws holding it in place. See, this is the issue I have with working in close quarters like this. I'm constantly misplacing my tool. There we go, screwdriver. So yeah, this has, looks like 2 screws holding it in place. So we're just gonna remove those 2 screws very carefully. And we have our encoder board. Set that off to the side. We now need to remove the power switch. This is 3 screws. A very easy removal. Okay. And we're going to take it straight over to the new deck. And we're going to start lining it up. Make sure you grab your sliders. They come off separate from your power switch. Okay. And you have beauty rings on the old deck. And you want to be very careful with these because they will very easily break. But if you just press one side and then push gently through, gently, 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 you can get those through. Okay. We're going to install the beauty rings. That's first. Okay, and they just pop right through. Well, that one even gave me a little snap to tell me it was in place. That was nice of it. Thank you. Okay. And then you have your little knobs, your slider knobs. Okay, and they just drop down into the center of that. Okay. Now you're going to take your volume and power. You're going to line them up with your knobs. Okay. And you're going to look real closely here, guys. So you want to make sure that you've got this situated so that when you put in the screws, you're biting into wood. Okay. Now, this is definitely something you want to be very, very careful doing here. We are going to pre-drill our holes for these. You want to be extremely careful doing this. And I'm using a very small bit. Okay, I don't even know. I just grabbed the smallest one in my set. Okay, I don't need big old holes. I just need something to start it so that when I push in that screw, it's not pushing wood. You know, it's just going straight in. Okay, now the reason you want to be very careful is so you don't go through your deck. All I'm going to do is just give this a little huck to, if you will, and just kind of get them started. Just a little huck to. Oh, and I'm off a little bit. Even being careful like that, I still wound up off just a little bit. You'll notice, you'll see in the Facebook groups or in other videos where guys do this and they're not careful with what they're doing. And then they'll have issues with it, not wanting to turn on, or the volume slider will stick. A lot of the time, what that is from is over tightening this. You just need these screws to hold it. You don't need it to clamp down on anything. Okay, so I'm just going to get them going here. I got one there. And I'm going to get one on this side. Maybe. Something didn't line up right. Well, we're going to start in the middle because I can get that one lined up pretty well. So again, they don't need to be that tight. In fact, I'm going to back that one off for just a little bit. There we go. Oh, that lined up nicely. Yeah, with the older cabinets, it's not such an issue because you have the 2-position on-off switch. With the newer cabinets, and you have that momentary switch, though, it's a little bit more of an issue. I didn't quite get my NFL Blitz done right, and I tell you what, it's driven me nuts ever since. So again, yeah. I mean, these screws, they're just, you know, I mean, heck, I've even got a gap here on this one still. I might give that just a little bit of a close. That feels good. That feels good. So that's going to be my power. Okay, and there's my volume. I feel like it could have maybe been just a little bit further this direction, but for the most part, I'm okay with that. Okay, next is going to be to install the encoder onto the new deck. This just drops on just like you took it off the old deck. It's got 2 screws that hold it into place on the volume power switch. I said, what, this would be about a 30-minute mod. Honestly, guys, if I weren't trying to film a video at the same time here, yeah, 30, maybe 45 minutes. This is a pretty simple deal. And I wasn't really prepared for this. I grabbed a few things that I knew I would need right away. I didn't have everything ready like I would normally do. I like to take my time, think things through, have a plan, know exactly what tools I need, not be chasing after stuff. Okay. So we've got a few things in here already. I'm going to turn on my flashlight here so I can see. And we'll see if we can't just go ahead and get a few of these things hooked up and out of our way here. We're going with players. Okay. Well, this one is color coded. That makes it so much easier, guys. Ooh, that's a tight squeeze. I used the wrong button here, and so my encoder wire is a little bit short, but it does fit. So I told you I'd wind up screwing up something, and I sure did. I didn't think about it. Forgot to move the headphone jack over. And it goes underneath that encoder. However, I think I've got enough room. I can get it in there. It's just not going to be as easy as I had hoped. I don't know why One Up ever started doing these. I don't think anybody uses them. I don't use them. But the board is cut out for it. I already ordered the second board. I'm not going to order a third. So, I could pre-drill this. I probably should pre-drill this. But we're going to try it. Yeah, we're going to give that next one a little bit of a drill. Well, I was hoping I didn't need to take the encoder back off, but I think I'm going to have to. Halfway off at least. Because I'm not sure I'm going to get this to sit right and securely otherwise. Well, and damn it, if I didn't forget the beauty ring. You know, you just take your time, go slow. If you make a mistake, you can always go backwards. I spent a lot of time in reverse. That one is not clipping like the others did very well. Hmm. Well, we got one side. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and go backwards and do this right. So I'm going to take this encoder board off, move it out of my way so that I can see what I'm doing here. Drop that in like it's supposed to be. And give that a little bit of a drill very carefully. I don't want to go through the deck. Just want to start a pilot hole is all I want to do. Yeah, pretty easy. Pretty darn easy, really. This will save me 16 inches. Doesn't sound like much, but when you think about it, a cabinet is only about 20 inches wide. So that's 3/4 of a cabinet extra space I'm getting. I think I paid original price because I got a little bit of a discount because the guy gave me a deal when I told him I screwed up on the last deck. I think I paid $69 for this deck. Might have been 79 plus shipping. I don't recall. But if there's certain aspects to the deck that you want off or that he has art for, he can add, which is nice. So you can customize your control deck a little bit, which we are going to do once we get everything all hooked up here. I'm going to come up underneath here and plug that in. Okay. All right. So now I got to start looking at the buttons here. We're going to pop these out. Okay. So red is mutant power, blue is attack, and yellow is jump. So we'll do the red on both sides. And we'll start with red. Red is mutant power, right? Mutant power. Be careful using your stools as a table like I am. I have inadvertently cut into the stool once before. Okay, mutant power, correct? That is correct. Okay. And I tell you, this is so easy the way they've color coded this encoder. So, see how each receptacle has its own color. You just match it up with the button. I don't have to worry about trying to read that. Usually they're all like white. Very difficult to read, and I'm always going back to my pictures, and yeah, so that's nice. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, we'll do the attack button, which is blue. Okay, attack. Drop that one in. Whoop, drop that one in. We're going to find our little nub. Line it up on the board. Push it through. It'll snap. You'll fill it. Okay, next one, blue. Goes pretty quick for a minute here. Okay, and then orange to orange. Orange to orange. Okay, next is going to be, we're going to do the jump, which is yellow. As long as I'm in here, I might as well just pop them both out, I suppose, instead of coming back. Jump is yellow. Yeah, you know, it really doesn't matter who you get the board from for this, whether it be Graphics Arcade or 99 Lives. This cabinet, honestly, guys, is not meant for this. And you're going to have some sacrifice with it. So you've really got to wonder, is it worth that sacrifice? You know, that little bit of space. For me, yeah, it's 100% worth it. So now I'm hooking everything up to player 2 and 3 on the encoder. I can always come back and change it later if I decide I want to do something different. Like I said, it only makes a difference on game number 2, Captain America and the Avengers. That's the only one it makes a difference on. Okay, so now all that's left is the purple button on each side. And then we're going to get into the joysticks. And I do need to go grab something for the joysticks. I did forget that. Okay. Couple of wires to hook up here. Purples. Oh, blues. There's the blue. Boy, it's so easy with the color coding. I love it. I've done some of these before, and it's like, what is that? Okay. We don't have too much of a spider web going on here yet, which is nice. Okay. I will be right back. I just need to grab two things, actually, in order to do the joysticks. Okay. So joysticks, I want to take my marker here, and I'm going to put a little mark just so I don't get them switched around. And I know which way is up and which is down. Okay. So my marks are going to be here and here, top. Put our drill bit away for just a second because we are going to use that again. And I'm just going to real quick remove these joysticks. You guys didn't know, I believe in magnetizing your tools, drill bits, drivers, screwdrivers. It does make life easier. In fact, I can't say I found a situation yet where I was regretful that the drill held onto my screw. Okay, I need to put these in a place I'm not going to lose them. We'll set them there on The Simpsons. Oh, if I forget where they're at, guys, let me know. They're on The Simpsons. Okay. So one thing I really don't recommend about modding, guys. Okay, so when you do a mod, a lot of time there's some thought that goes into it, you know, especially when it's a bigger project. One thing I really, really, really don't recommend, and I just had to remind myself of this week, don't start ordering parts and planning your mod while enjoying Blackberry Crown or any other adult beverage. Amazon showed up, eBay showed up. I had all kinds of packages. I had no idea what was in them. I started opening them up, and I figured out what I was thinking. And yes, everything's going to jive right. But like on the Amazon stuff, I ordered 2 of almost everything. And there's some things I don't even know why I ordered it. Like battery-powered RGB lights. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not going to use battery-powered RGB lights for anything. So I got to get my joystick off. I got to remove the ball, which is not as easily done as I would hope because I used pliers to put them on. I'll be right back, gang. So when I put ball tops on, bat tops, either one, I always grab that down there below the dust cover and then spin on the top. Okay? And that way it doesn't come loose during gameplay. Nobody likes loose balls, right? Okay, so joysticks are off. And for the most part, I'd say we're done with this, right? Okay. We're going to set that off to the side. Because now we want to use this tray. Remember, we're using this black tray because of our joysticks. You know, the deck doesn't sit well otherwise, right? Okay. Now, I've seen lots of different people say lots of different things when it comes to lining up their joysticks, okay? First thing you want to do is make sure you got the top to the top, and like that one was upside down, so I would have put it on wrong. A lot of people will say different things about lining these up so that you get them center. You could use a soda pop cap and just cut a hole or melt a hole in the top of it, or a milk jug. I've seen just some other things. What I am going to use is a socket. I have a 3/4 inch socket that is going to sit in that hole, okay? And guys, it sits pretty darn tight. It's not super snug, but it does sit in there pretty tight. Okay, and that's going to give me my center. Now, I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to mark out my holes. I'm going to set this on here where I want it. Okay. Now, when you're looking at this joystick, you've got some solid position holes, and then you've got a couple of wider ones. These are so you can adjust it. Okay. When I mark it out, I put, and I don't know that this is right, but what I do is I put that mark in the center of the adjustable slot. Okay. We're going to go back to, get that out of my trackball. We're going to go back to our drill bit here. And remember, I'm not using a very big drill bit. I'm not trying to waller out the hole. I just need something so that screw goes in, it grabs it. It doesn't need to eat at the wood, but instead can grab that wood. And I'm just going to give it a quick huck too. That's so crazy, dude. That video. I tell you what, can't see enough of that thing. It just, not that I want to see it, it just keeps showing up. And people are making videos of it now, and beautiful. Okay. So now, before I start screwing this thing down, I'm going to put my 3/4 inch socket back in there. And I use this side, guys. I use the side that goes to the ratchet. It fits around the joystick peg handle, whatever you want to call it. I can start lining things up. I'm backwards again. Okay. I'm going to start with 2 of the 6 screws. I am using a screwdriver, not a drill. Okay. And I'm going to go with the longest slider or adjustment hole. Maybe I'm using a driver. There it is. There she goes. Okay, I'm going to change my method here of approach. We're going to go back to the drill. We're going to set the drill on its lowest torque setting so that we don't strip anything out. Love a drill with a clutch. Okay. Now that I got that in, I can kind of see where I'm at here. I can look at the other side. I don't like it. I can move it. I can adjust until I feel like I'm in a nice center position, which is pretty much right there. And I don't like that because my joystick is crooked. Okay. I'm going with it right where it's at right now. Okay. My pilot holes are way off. So we're going to get the marker out. And I'm going to mark my fixed position spot. Okay. So that's the one hole that once I put that screw in, it's not adjustable anymore. No. I dropped my bit, my little tiny drill bit. There it is. Come on. There you go. Oh. Okay. So we're just going to line that up. Give it a little hop too. I can feel it grabbing. I don't need to over tighten, just nice and snug. I can take and look. I am just a little bit off still. So I'm going to remove that screw. Guys, I'm super anal about this. I'm sorry. It really is not that big of a deal that you have to be center, as long as you can get full motion of the controls. That's what's important. Okay. Good. Pretty well centered. I'm happy with it. So now let's hit this a couple of times. It looks like our bottom pilot holes have lined up. Our top ones have not. So we're going to re-drill those top pilot holes. Actually, that one's there. And so is that one. Okay. So our pilot holes are good. We just got to drill these in, and we are done with the first joystick. Come on. There you go. Notice I'm trying not to use the drill on this part of the deck. I really don't want to strip out the wood. If you have to, you have to. But if you can avoid it, why not avoid it? I may have to on this one. It just doesn't seem to be biting. We'll come back to that screw. Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful dreamer, dream on. Well, I can't sing that song, right? I'll get a copyright strike. Isn't that how that works? Not that I really care, you know, I don't do the YouTube thing for money or anything like that, but from what I understand, you lose your channel. Well, I don't want to do that. I'd have to start all over. I'd be addicted to at games. Oh, wait, no, not at games, anything but. I am not an at games fan. However, you know, they got that National Owners Day sale going, and the ALU is only, what was it, $489, and I think it's normally like $600 or $700. Now, the only reason it even piqued my interest is because of the Buy Stuff Super Sprint mod that's going to be coming out for the ALU. Now I've been leaning towards the pedestal version, but I don't know. You know, if I could get a good deal on the Legends, I think that cabinet looks pretty good. At least it does in the rendering that they have. There we go. Yeah, now it's grabbing. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're going to move on to the next joystick now. Hopefully this one goes a little easier. We have our up. Line that up to the T. Grab our socket here. Okay. Now, unlike what I did on the last one, I'm just going to drill the one pilot hole first. And we're going to get it lined up nice and right first. Again, very careful, guys. You just need to give it a hawk too. You don't need to go through the deck like I just did. Oh, man. That's a bummer. Yep, I just did. But I think the art covers it up enough. And once I put the deck protector on, it'll be just fine. Oh, yeah. You never even notice it. Okay. Yeah, you're going to break stuff. You're going to do things wrong. Just not worth getting upset over. It's just a $400 or $500 cabinet, guys. I mean, I know $400 or $500 is a lot of money, but at the same time, it's not. I mean, this cabinet, when it sold new retail to arcades, full size, it was probably a $4,000 cabinet then. If you were to buy this full size or that an original cabinet brand new now, with all that technology based on those prices, I mean, you'd probably be looking at 10 grand. So when you think about it like that, $400 or $500 isn't that bad. Plus, if all else fails, I do have another 4-player deck I can put right back on it. I got my my backup deck from Arcade One Up. They were nice enough to sell me one. I don't remember. I think it was $75. And then the weird thing is, they shipped me a full deck protector, and the light. And then they also shipped me a deck protector and a light separate, which I thought was very weird, but you know, they shipped it. Well, I think we're going to do this one now. Up two, don't go through. Well, this is my longest live stream ever. I thought this was a 30-minute job. I've been on for what, an hour and 20 minutes now? Just a little more than I anticipated. The nice thing is, though, I got that thing beautifully centered. I don't know that I want to move it too much, if any. Right about there. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. So we're getting close then, because that didn't take very long at all. Well, we do need to finish our pilot holes. Up, 2, 3, 4. Don't go through that board. Yeah, 45 minutes. If I weren't trying to film a live stream and I prepared for this, and I don't know. I think I could have done it in 45 minutes or so. I mean, remember, I didn't do anything ahead of time here. I didn't even remove the screws off of the original deck before we started. So, yeah, like I said, I was planning a mod project and I ordered a bunch of stuff. And now I'm really super excited because I'm seeing this stuff coming in and I'm like, oh, that is cool. And so now I can't wait to get this project started. Actually, I want to just get it finished because I want to play it. I don't know where I'm going to put it in the arcade is part of my issue, though. It's so out of space here. And then I don't know if you guys saw my post. I got my full-size arcade machine running, my Birdie King. I've had that machine for 20 years. Was the first arcade machine I ever bought. Like I said, I've had it for 20 years. After my last move, I didn't think it was going to come back. And I got to tinkering with it last week, and I don't know what the hell I did, but boy, I got it running, and it looks great. It's running fine. I don't know. Okay, so now we don't have color coding. So I need to remember which is which here. And I remember by looking at my phone. Because I have 2 sets of wires from my encoder. Looks like the yellows go to the back side of it. So then the colored ones go to the front side. Or the green. Right? Ooh. Yellow ones go to the white. Wait a minute. No. Hold on. Zoom. Blind man running here. Colored ones go on the 4-pin green. 4-pin green. Okay, so colored wires go to the 4-pin green, and then yellow and black. Well, you'd really be in trouble if you tried doing this colorblind. Yellow and black go to the white. And then we will repeat. Okay, now that's done. But before we hook it up and test it out, like I said, Arcade 1-Up sent me an extra light. So we're going to try this light up bar on it and see if we can make this work. And I looked at the one that was on there originally. Well, thank you, Jason, and welcome to the stream, buddy. Yeah, this is an easy mod, Jason. I'm not too sweating it, really. So, I was looking at the other one, and it looks like it's connected to both the deck and the plexiglass. So we're going to see if we can make this work here. All right, so yeah, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work. We can just attach it to the deck and then slip our plexiglass on underneath, which is what we're going to do. So, exciting. My 2-player mod might be a little different than somebody else's, which is nice. I like being different. Unique, not different. I'm unique. I was also told I'm special, so, you know, whatever. But I never rode a short bus. Those are too short. I'm afraid those might be too meaty. Oh yeah, that's gonna poke through. So we just got to find the right screw here. Too short, too short. That might work. Need like 5 of them. I could take them off the other deck, I suppose. Right? Really, I could have taken the light up bar off the other deck, but you know, One Up was nice enough to send me this light up bar, so I'll use it. I hope it fits into the cabinet right, though, because that's going to add a lot of space that I'll bet he didn't plan on me having. Ooh, we probably ought to check that. I don't think it's going to drop in right if I do that. Oh, maybe it will. Maybe it will. I got a pretty good gap. And that's what she said. I got a big gap. And I said, yeah, you do, honey. I think we are golden, guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, beautifully. So, yeah. We're going to install that. It actually wouldn't work without it. I mean, it would work, but you would have, you know, half-inch gap back there. Well, that's nice. It worked out great. I think we're going to do it this way. Now, here's a problem with these screws I'm using. They're not magnetic. So the tools won't hold them. Once we get this started, though, it shouldn't be an issue. It should be a pretty easy deal. Yeah, there you go. Nice and snug. What did I do with them? I had 4 of them out, I thought. Maybe I didn't. We're almost to the finish line. Not too bad either. I mean, you know, bird's nest wise. I'll come back through later and I'll clean that up a little bit, put a couple zip ties on it. That'll be real easy to clean up, make nice and neat. Okay, now we need to replace the J panel, which with this cabinet, it's locked in. So I'll just have to reduce or release the sides a little bit. Has anybody seen my drill bit? There it is, my screwdriver bit. Oh, just a little bit of a screw loose there. That'll come out. Again, you never know when that piece might come in handy later. And then our new J panel drops in. There we go. Tighten the cabinet back up. We're going to connect our ribbon cable. Like I said, I'll come back later and tie those loose wires up. S cable. Yeah. Fish around here and see if we can figure out where the cable that plugs into the deck protector went. There it is. Okay. Yeah, fits beautifully. Very nice. Nice fit, guys. And then I don't think I'll drive these. I'll just put them in for now. Do a little testing. And that dropping down in there. Needs a little hot on that thing. I can't get that thing out of my mind. Okay, let's see here. Power. Come on. Make sure I got her plugged in. I don't like the way that power switch feels. I may have to move that. It's just not center. Oh, yeah, that's plugged in nice and tight there. Okay, let's open it up. What do we do? There's the volume. There's the power. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think we're off center. That power switch can get a little tricky, guys. Gotta line that thing up just right. Quick peek here at my wiring. Yeah, it's right. So now I got to remove the encoder board. It's all plugged in tight, right? Yeah. Yep. We're going to have to remove the encoder board, remove the power switch, reposition it. Maybe. Yep. That's what it was. Just out of position. Just not centered. Oh, yeah, I feel like it's all the way over. Yeah, I feel like it's in the as far over as it's going to let me get with it. Well, I'm going to wrap up the live stream. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Basically, yeah, all I need to do is I just need to reposition my power switch a little bit, and then I should be good to go. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. Leave them in the comments after the stream. If you're watching on Restream, I try to comment or answer any comment. Until next time, guys, make sure you play until your fingers bleed.